Welcome to Let's Talk About It, the podcast, where we shine a light on the change agents and everyday heroes who shape our communities. Here, we dive deep into the lived experiences of our guests, exploring the milestone moments that have either propelled them forward or changed their paths. We anchor every conversation in two foundational pillars of the Black community: books and music. Through this unique lens, we capture, entertain, and inform, weaving a rich tapestry of stories and insights that resonate, inspire, and spark meaningful dialogue. Join our host, TJ Lowry and Shatima Grisham, as they engage with thought leaders and community change agents to uncover the rich tapestry of experiences that shape our lives. Get ready for insightful discussions, unfiltered perspectives, and the celebration of Black excellence. Let's talk about it.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk About It, the podcast. I'm your girl TJ here, and I'm so excited for today's show. We are going to take a deep dive and catch up with the community's one of the most prominent HR professionals in our area. But before we do that, I must introduce my girl Shatima. How you doing, girl? You ready to talk about it?
Absolutely.
All right. So what's still going on? How you holding up?
I'm holding up. Holding up. What
Yeah.
about you?
It's been a little tough. I know we both have been through some really tough experiences, taken some deep losses. You with the loss of your brother, and me with my Siri, my fur baby, who's been with me for 14 years. Grief is a necessary for the circle of life, but it really has been tough. I know your brother's loss kind of came quick for you and your family. How did you all get through that and hold up?
I think we're still trying to figure that out. Yeah. It was unexpected, I will definitely say. Tell, specifically men, especially our Black men, get your colonoscopy. Even if you have to fight with your insurance companies. He was diagnosed early August with stage 4 colon cancer, and he passed 30 days later. So we were not prepared, and it happened really, really quick. And he was only 47. So it sounds like, based off of what the doctors told us, he probably had it for several years. And so we just have to do better about getting out there, going to the doctor, making those appointments, and following through, because it is one of the few cancers that is preventable. And so, devastating loss.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out that piece, but grief it makes you really put things into perspective.
Yeah.
And we were trying to pack his things up, and it's like we work really hard to accumulate a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we're looking at these things, and it's like, well, do you want this? Do you want that? Or are you going to give this away? Are we going to keep this? And it just really, for me, put some of those things in perspective, that you can't take any of that stuff with you.
Yeah.
And it's really about memories and relationships, and not acquiring the best of the best. I mean, he probably had about 50 pair of sneakers, all sorts of different J's. And then we're like, who wears a size 14? Who wears a size 13? You really can't do anything with all this stuff. So, one of the biggest insights in just going through this transitioning is really putting in perspective balance and your own personal health and memories with loved ones, because life is but a vapor.
Yeah, that's what you said. How do we get those men to preventative care and not treating what they now have? So, yeah, same for me. What I've learned about grief, and I was fortunate to learn this, is that we shouldn't ask people, how are you doing, right? And so many people kept saying, how are you doing? And I didn't respond, because the reality is, it's really been tough. And so we need to learn to not say that, not say, how are you? And then secondly, a lot of people want to know, what can I do for you, and let me know what you need. And right now, I don't know what I need. I'm struggling with losing somebody who's been with me 14 years. And while Siri was a dog, she was in our family, and my kids are impacted. And so I am grateful for the relationship we had. She was my first dog, and we laugh about how she got her name. Everybody has an iPhone, or you should, the Android users. Yes, I'm biased, but Siri came because I had a partner who got an iPhone, and I wanted an iPhone, and I didn't have one, but he did buy me Siri, and so I named her Siri. Her real name is Serious Dog, and she was very serious and very loved, and so we just truly want to dedicate today's show to Serious Dog, aka Siri, and Shatima
Rashad Gresham.
yeah, they both had some serious impact on our lives and the lives of our families and friends. And so we want to thank them both for what they contributed to us and hope they rest in peace. So now let's get into some stuff, Shatima. Let's talk about who are you introducing us to? Because I'm excited to talk to today's guest.
That's quite the transition.
I'll do it.
We are. I'm excited to introduce to you our guest, Shaun Mayo. Welcome to Let's Talk About It. He is the Chief HR Officer with the Arizona Cardinals Football Club. He's also the president of BSP, which is the National Society of Black Sports Professionals. He is a member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. He also just got awarded, congratulations, last being the Power 50 Under 40 from the U.S. Black Chamber. And he is a resident here of Arizona, been here for a couple years by way of Arkansas, but originally from Houston.
That's correct.
And we're excited to have you here.
Well, I'm excited to be here. And first, let me say sorry. My condolences for both of you guys' loss. And, thanks for, sharing that. I know that's not always easy to talk about. So thanks for sharing that with not only me, but the audience that's listening in as well. And thanks for creating a space to have conversations like these. I'm looking forward to the discussions.
Neat. Me too. Welcome, Shaun. We can't wait to catch up.
Yeah,
with
let's do it.
you.
Yeah,
You
catch
stay-
up with me. Oh, yeah, that's
Head on air. So, Shaun, we are HR professionals, and we like to kick off the show with an icebreaker.
okay.
And we call this one Let's Talk About It. Okay. And so we're just going to ask you a quick question and just answer with the first thing that
Okay.
comes to mind.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, coffee or tea?
I'm going with coffee.
All right, coffee. Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Okay. It's not my candy course.
No, no. I'm a sucker for gummy bears, though. Like, I really love gummy stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Morning or night person?
Well, I'm gonna definitely go with night. Those mornings, I don't know. Like, yeah, no.
TJ is
Yeah.
definitely a night owl.
All night.
Yeah. I keep saying I'm gonna wake up early in the morning to work out. I haven't been able to get up yet to do so, but I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. All right.
What's my coffee? Favorite app?
Favorite app? Ooh, I'm probably say LinkedIn. Actually, I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn.
Okay. What's your favorite season? I know in Arizona you kind of get one and a half. You were back in.
I don't say if I go Arkansas.
Yes.
Yeah, I go Arkansas. My favorite season because everywhere I've lived, I've never got a chance to experience all 4 seasons. I'm gonna go fall, and really watching the leaves turn from green. It was really beautiful to be able to see. So I would say fall in Arkansas would be one of my favorite seasons.
Yeah, Arizona's fall is definitely generic. I'm from Wisconsin, so we saw it, and it's amazing. You see them literally turn colors and fall away. So okay, fall.
All right, cats or dogs?
Dogs.
For sure.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
So I have a new one, Cookie. She's a lot. She is a handful. 5 months.
Are you gonna give us the story of how Cookie got her name?
She is brown, very like the chocolate chip cookie with the brown chocolate nose and eyes, and so she's really, really sweet. When you look at her, she's gonna be a TV or IG dog.
Okay, I love it.
But then
Page already going?
not yet.
Not yet.
I'm not too much outplayed, but not yet.
All right.
But she also is a monster. So we call her Cookie Monster. Yes, the puppy stage, but she just looks like a chocolate chip cookie. It's just
What kind of dog?
she's a Woodle, which is a Wheaten Terrier in Behoodle. 5 months, about 20 pounds, and a lot of energy.
Okay. All right. All right. I'll be on the lookout for this.
You'll see her. I'll make sure you keep the follow Cookie. You're gonna go on a babysitter.
Okay. All right. All right.
Think of texting or calling.
Texting.
Ooh, okay. Definitely at that halfway at that call for me.
Okay.
Call for me. So
All right.
Shatima.
I agree.
Yeah.
Call.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I think you lose too much in text sometimes because they don't like to say. I do. I'm trying to too.
Yeah, that's true.
Me
That's
true. Carpet tunnel has made me audio a lot, so definitely call me, please.
You know, you got like voice to chat now too.
I do,
So,
but it's correcting me all. I gotta correct a lot because or punctuality ain't there. So we're on the other side. So
But judgment, no judgment here. You know, so.
thing is, we're getting there.
okay. All right.
All right, we'll do a few more, TJ. Beach or mountains?
I'm definitely going beach.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got to be a beach.
Ooh, sex with the lights on or off?
Ooh, that's a good one. Off.
Off. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guilty pleasure TV show.
Guilty. Ooh, that's a good one. Guilty pleasure TV show. This is probably not a good one, but I would probably go with something like How It's Made.
Oh, I love
I
that.
can sit there and watch it like all day and get lost in that. That would probably be my show to
Okay. Well, with your hobby of doing building things.
building
too.
things. Yeah. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, me too, Shaun. I love that show. What was the last book you read?
Last book. That's a good one. Last book I read, I actually just finished it last night. And I'm drawing a blank on it, but it's all about business and how this guy built a business, and it's got all these tips about business, but I'm drawing a blank on it. I can tell you what I'm reading right now because I just started it, but it's How to Talk to Anybody. Is a book that I'm reading right now.
Very good. Do you remember what was on the cover of either of those books?
On the cover of either. I actually don't.
Hmm?
No, because I'm audible,
Well, that-
auto based. So yeah, not on that Queen Creek Drive is a beast. So I'm listening to audiobooks most of the days in. So
I used to live in Levine and commute to Scottsdale, so I was the same way. I would call people I need to call or audio. So they say the book cover is what lures a reader into the book. Tell us if we picked up the autobiography of the book of Shaun Mayo, what would we find on the book? And
Oh,
this
yeah,
is a
you
book of your
described it.
life story. Yeah.
okay,
So it's on the book.
love it.
And then in real life, tell us how you show up because that is, kind of the equivalent of that.
Okay,
So what's on the book and how do you present and show up to other people?
that's good. Book. So if I had to describe a book cover right now, for me, I'm gonna go black and gold. It's alpha, right? So it's gonna have some black and gold there.
And the royalty.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's probably gonna have some kind of tools on it, right?
Okay.
I tell you, I like building, right? So it's gonna probably have a saw, screwdriver, some kind of raw materials, and then I would probably have some type of cloth that's on there that's like symbolic of, and by no means am I rich, but some type of rag to riches story is what I would probably
I
have
love it.
on the cover of a book.
I love it. I heard that in the gold, right? That gold, it speaks royalty, and you can speak that into existence. It speaks, about appendix. So I love that. I love that.
It's coming.
So very good.
Perfect. So we talked about the front cover. Let's talk about the back cover
Yeah.
of the book. So the back cover is usually what convinces us to buy the book.
Okay.
Open it and reading. What's the back cover going to say about you?
That cover. Yeah, I'm probably gonna. I think I'd probably use the back for like some testimonials or something, and have just some people that I've known over the course of my year, or my time on this earth, to tap in and say a few words. Is what I would probably throw on
The rag riches story.
Yeah, yeah. More talking about character and who I am, because I don't think, regardless of where I am today, I don't think who I am foundationally is from a character perspective has just really changed. And so I would want to pull in some people that have been around to kind of see, just my growth as a human over the last 38 years kind of play out.
I love that. And that, speaks to the healing, that growth and being able to see who you are and who you become.
Yeah.
And people that know us, they see us different. They see us outside of who we see. So we definitely want to hear their perspective, their POV. That's a great back cover. What would you title the book? I titled it, The Book of Sean.
Okay. Okay.
But what would you title it? And then what are some of the chapters that would really resonate with people that
Yeah.
they would just take away
You know what? This is what I would title it, right? You kind of alluded to this thing I started doing, which we're not gonna get into here, but I started doing this ketchup with mayo
from? Okay.
deal for people to connect with me, right? And so I would probably title that book "Ketchup with Mayo."
All right. I was going to title it.
Yes, yeah, yeah. So that's what I would go, and I don't know, like chapters, right? Like I don't know, I would literally take people through, really, how I've got to where I am today, and I'm not just talking professionally, right? I'm just talking about like as a human. Like if you unpack and uncover, my upbringing, my childhood, like all that stuff, all the statistics and stereotypes and everything would say that I'm not supposed to be really where I am today, right?
Love
So
testimony.
you would have a really great just history of like, the things that I've been able to see and the things that have shaped like who I am. And so I don't know, like I think there's different ways you're gonna organize a book, but I'll probably organize it in somewhat in a chapter of chronological order of just things that have happened from, my onset to now. But then I would dive into probably some areas that are, I'd call really important to my life,
Yeah.
right? And that have been consistent throughout, no matter what I've done, right?
Right.
So, church would be in there, right? Like
Yeah.
I've been consistently
Absolutely.
involved in
Right.
church, right? Yeah. And so I don't know. So that's how I would think about like the organization of the book. But there's definitely some key moments in there that played into there. None whatsoever.
He's
Hit me.
started.
Yeah, yeah.
Your book coming, right?
Yeah, maybe so, maybe so. Yeah, catch it with Mayo. You are there.
On the outline.
There it is. There it is. I love it. I wish I'd be promoting it right now as it was. So.
Right. Well, the people also need to hear those tools, right? What I feel like is by hearing our experiences, we hope that they can take something from that and shave that bad experience or elevate a little quicker something we've gone through. And so they're tools, the things you've gone through inspire people and hopefully they can get where they're going.
Absolutely.
Well, I love it. I'm waiting for
All right.
that with me.
Good. Hey,
All right.
those stories never get old because you never know how your story impacts somebody else. You feel like you've heard these kind of over and over again, but there's something unique that's going to touch somebody else who maybe hasn't had that type of story. You kind of talked about this a little bit, but what people or these places or events, you mentioned the church, like how have those been impactful for you? Do you have like an event or place, person or place that maybe has been the most impactful?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a lot of different examples and things that I could probably go through there. The one that probably comes to mind immediately is just even talking about just the role of the church, and my grandparents and my mom. I grew up in a single parent household, so really, I think about my mom and I got an older sister that's she's let's see, I'm trying to do the math here. She's 14 years older than me. And so I jokingly always call her my sister mom. And so I would say even her, right? Like the women in my life, right? Because there were not a lot of men in my life have been really like impactful in terms of helping me to just really become like who I am, right? And like if even if go down just a really small decision, that I'll use my sister as an example. And then we can get into some events like my mom passed when I was 20. My grandma passed when I was 18. And so really, just out there really by myself, but the consistent person that's been there for sure has been my sister mom, right? And my mom, I've always known her as being disabled, right? So when I came into this world and whatnot, she was disabled, and was around and available. But like she really let me do what I wanted to do. And so when you think about that, like the recipe to really do whatever you want to do is like quite dangerous, right?
No.
Like there was none, right? And the person that was there that was attempting to hold me accountable was my sister, right? And even wild decisions, right? In terms of like, even this is a small one, but like it could potentially have altered even, where I am today. I remember I had convinced my mom when I was in high school that it was time for me to go get an open face gold tooth. Okay. And so she was game. She was like, yeah, like, all right, like that's what you want to do. Like, go and do it. And my sister was like, hell no. All right. That's not happening. Like, you are not going to get this open face gold tooth. But it's little things like that, right? That I can go back on. And then even if I just go even further back, like my grandmother was heavy in the church. Grew up in a small little church. I had a picture of it. You see it. It's really small. Probably has 50 members today. And so my grandmother, she had me in the church like 24/7. Like if there was something happening at the church,
Bible school,
everything, okay?
Sunday school.
Everything. I'm doing food pantries on Wednesdays. I'm the altar boy. I'm in every program, the usher, like all of that, right? And so like I go back to that and I think like those things really kept me out of trouble.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm talking about after school programs, like everything. Like, if the church was doing something, you best believe my grandmother had me there. Yeah, yeah. And so, I go back to like events like that that I know have like really helped like shape me and like who I am today, even though in that moment I couldn't necessarily like
Yeah.
see what was happening there. Yeah, yeah, I couldn't see what was happening there. So those are just a couple that come to mind.
Yeah. I'm a sister mom. I am the oldest of 3 brothers. So I'm definitely a sister mom. They're all pretty tall. At least 2 of them are 6 feet plus, but they're still scared of me because, I had to get them in check and get them together, and they're doing pretty
It's
well.
an important role. It's important. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear the music, right? That was one of my brothers.
Yeah.
I love my sister mom. So tell us about the plot twist in Catch Up with Mayo, Sean. A shit hit the fan story of your life that may have taken you by surprise or taken you off the path.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Shit hit the fan moment. I would go with I would probably go with probably my relationship with what I still today call my wife, even though we're not call it officially married, but we went through a period where we actually separated and actually got back together. And I think throughout that time period was just one of those like moment of flipping the script, if you will,
Yeah.
and really trying to figure out like what's next, per se. And there was a whole lot going on in that moment, right? And so they give you, some more backstory there. So we separate. We just had a little one. My youngest was just born, and then I ended up with a job elimination, which again, call it a job elimination. At the end of the day, I'd say I knew from markers and
Yeah.
just looking around, like
Right.
it was coming, but I also was safe too because they did an elimination, but then also offered us different jobs. And so I kind of knew what was happening there. But in the midst of the separation, this job thing happens, and it actually forces me to move away from Houston. Right. So I'm in Houston, this job elimination happens, and then I've got to pick up and make a decision really. Like, am I gonna keep a job here, stay in here, or keep a job with this company and move, or do something different and stay in Houston? And so I made the decision to pick up and move to Arkansas,
Okay.
with the hopes of, staying out the career.
Yeah.
And so do that, get there. I'm there for about a year or so. I'm going back to Houston to try to be around the kids and all this other good stuff. And me and their mom ended up rekindling and rebuilding a relationship, and they ended up moving out to Arkansas and all that stuff. But it's like just a very trying time. I'd say
Yeah.
there with just a lot going on,
Absolutely.
more so personally than like professionally. And so you just never know what people are like going through because I don't think work would have ever known like all of that was happening in the background. But that's what I would probably allude to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes work doesn't care, and that was what, our one of our guests, Ryan, his role was to go in the workplace and help people that are dealing with a lot of challenges in their personal lives. How can we help them navigate that but still successfully perform? Because
Good.
we don't have a choice.
You don't.
We already
Yeah.
are struggling to keep up and meet them. And so we don't have a choice
Mhm.
to not mentally function at
Yep.
work when home is a
Yeah.
struggle.
They don't have that safe space and that
Yeah.
opportunity to even disclose.
No.
Now you still have to show up and get done, and there's no like, I remember going back and telling him my brother passed, and the first question is, "Well, when do you think you'll return?" Like, I don't know.
It's good.
I don't know. So we don't always have that space to go back and have it even cross over.
No, for sure. I mean, you got to take care of yourself, right? I got a friend that's in HR that we joke around and share stories around how there's a retailer out there to not be named, but like their CEO ended up passing away, and literally the next day they were naming and calling who was the next CEO, right? And again, they probably cared and shared, but at the end of the day, business goes on, and they're gonna move on with or without you, right? And so it's for sure important to take care of yourself. So
Yeah, I feel like we show up like superheroes a lot of time, and so that's why, and we have to. Again, we are trying to survive and show that we're capable and beyond capable, and so we show up like Superman oftentimes or Superwoman. And so when we are struggling, like Shatima said, I know, great, but when are you getting back? Because we need you. We need those powers here. So it's not fair, but it is, our experience. So last question for you, Shaun, as we wrap down, what book would you recommend to our audience and why?
a book, wow, that's good. It's an easy one, I say. I'll tell you, I started reading heavily in the pandemic. I always had a book somewhere, but I started reading heavily in the pandemic. I would say,
Time.
yeah, I say the book that really changed my mindset, my life, if you will, was actually this book called I think it's called Resilience or Mental Resilience by it's actually a pastor, so you see this church theme keeps running through. Uh Ivy Hilliard out of Houston, and it was all about the mind, right? And how much the mind plays a role in really how we operate. And so that book really changed a lot for me in terms of how I think about things.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Well, this has been wonderful getting an opportunity to connect with you. Will you tell everybody where they can keep up with you? What's your social handle?
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you, I love LinkedIn a lot. So you can find me on LinkedIn. Just look for me, Shaun Mayo, there. But then also on both Instagram and X, Shaun Mayo HR is where you can find me. So Shaun Mayo HR.
Never open X and
So
it's become X.
I don't use it much at all, but ID and LinkedIn are my two big ones. So yeah. You won't find much on X. I don't think I've ever posted actually, but I'm in this. So
Very good.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it. Can't wait to get this book going that you brought.
yeah, no,
these
I guess I need to
skeletons.
start working on this. Yeah.
Just give us our credit.
Yeah, I will. I will. There it is. There it is. I have you on the back of the cover inside somewhere writing something. So I love it.
Our residual or
Yeah,
forward.
like it.
We got you covered. Um, so want to go ahead and shout out my company. So I am the CEO of Procure Talent Management Group. We are a HR consulting firm that specializes in talent management. So it is the strategy of how we attract, hire, develop, and retain employees. TJ, you want to give a shout out for your?
I'm actually going to do a shout out to the Black HR Society. Thank them also for their support, our org.
Absolutely.
You can follow BHRS on all the social platforms. And also giving a shout out to LTA. I'll let your team roll that one out.
Yeah, let's talk about it. The podcast. So we're also on all social media handles, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
all under Let's Talk About It. You can also reach me at Shatima. We want to talk about it at .com and TJ as well.
That's correct. Please be sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe if you would like to be a guest on our show or know someone or even would like to sponsor us. Again, you can reach me or to Shatima. My email is tj@wewannatotalkaboutit.com. Please continue to follow us. We'll be back on Thursdays at 1 p.m.
Thank you for tuning into Let's Talk About It, the podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's conversation and found inspiration in the stories and experiences shared. We trust that you were entertained, learned something new, and felt inspired by today's show. Be sure to subscribe. Like, follow, share, and join us for the next episode. Until then, keep the conversation going and let's keep talking about it.